Good evening, my dear students. Hope you are doing just great. Please follow with me and open your box on page 60. Today we'll talk about grammar guide, modal verbs of obligation, proposition, and advice in the present. Exercise 1A. Match the sentences A to L to the functions 1 to 4. So we have here sentences which contains modal verbs and we have to match them with their function. A. You ought to think twice about the conditions. You ought to. Here, number 1, express obligation or necessity. Say there is no obligation or necessity. 3. Say something is prohibited or not possible. 4. Give advice or recommendations. A. It's done, which is ought to. So ought to we use it for recommendation and advice. B. You should consider opening a current account. Consider, remember the word consider, what does it mean? Yeah, to think. You should think or should consider. So, should here we use it for what? To give advice or recommendation. So, B with number 4. C. With free banking, you don't have to pay any bank charges. Don't have to. C, which goes with number 2. Say there is no obligation or necessity. You don't have to pay. So, D. The letter must say which course you are studying. Must. Must should go with number 1, express obligation or necessity. Then E. You have to be 18 to open an account without your parents. So E with number 1, express obligation or necessity. Let's go to F now. You mustn't get into debt. Mustn't, which is F, goes with 3. Say something is prohibited or not possible. Then G, you'd better make sure that there is a branch near you. G with 4, which gives advice or recommendations. Then we have H, you aren't allowed to open an account until you are 16. So which is with number 3. Say something is prohibited or not possible because you are not allowed. Okay, I. The letter needs to give your address and date of birth. So I should go with number 1, express obligation or necessity. Then we go to J. The letter, J, yeah, you needn't take a driving license. So J, you needn't, which means no obligation or necessity with number 2. K, you don't need to take a driving license. So K also with number 2, no obligation or necessity. The last one, you can't open a bank account without identification, which is ID. So L goes with number 3, say something is prohibited or not possible. This way, number 1, we have sentences D, E, and I. Y, number 2, we have C, J, and K. 3, we have F, H, and L. 4, we have A, B, and G. This way, we can make mind maps for each one of those modal verbs. Okay? Now, we can go to 1B. Answer these questions. Hope that you can do it at home as a homework assignment because it's such an easy one. You have to refer to the sentences. Because now I want to make exercise number 2 with you, which is decide if the sentences are correct. Rewrite the incorrect sentences. Sentence number 1, you shouldn't arrive late for a meeting with a bank manager. So it's correct. 2, you don't have to use somebody else's passport to open a bank account. You don't have? Sure not. You mustn't. You mustn't use somebody else's passport to open a bank account. 3, have you to sign your name on your credit card? For sure, there's no sense to ask such a question. It should be, do you have to sign your name on your credit card? Number 4, aren't foreigners allowed to have a student account? It should be, aren't foreigners allowed to have a student account? 5, when you live at home, most students needn't to open a current account. It should be, most students don't need to open a bank account. Sorry, a current account. Then we have 6. She would better get a debit card because it isn't safe to take lots of cash everywhere. This sentence is what is wrong, because instead of what, it should be she had better, because here we are giving a piece of advice or recommendation. Then 7, we ought to ask for advice because we don't know much about banking. It's correct, because here it's giving us also a piece of advice. 8, you must take all the documents to the bank yourself to open an account. It's correct. Okay? Now we will go to exercise number 3, which is complete the text with these words. There are 4 extra words. Number 1, you had better hurry or you will miss the bus. Had better, because here we're giving a recommendation. 2, my dad has to wear a uniform because he is a firefighter. Obligation. We have just eaten. In my opinion, we ought to have a rest before we swim again. Recommendation again. 16-year-olds aren't allowed to drive in most countries. Express no obligation. Sorry, obligation here, because 16-year-olds aren't allowed to drive in Europe. So they mustn't drive in Europe. 5, you needn't buy me a present for my birthday. I don't really want anything. 6, parents always tell their children that they mustn't lie to them. Obligation for sure. We are allowed to use calculators in maths exams, but I forgot to take mine today. Okay. So we will stop till here, because I want you to practice this lesson on the worksheet that I will send it to you as a PDF worksheet in order to study modal verbs and present, in order to complete tomorrow inshallah on the same PowerPoint, but we have to